right, man. Felipe, we're gonna go straight into your worst take, and I'm gonna give you a D minus on this one. Step above last week. Congrats.
Better than that.
Hey, congrats. You did a little better this time. But you agreed with Shaquille O'Neal when Shaq said, I believe, over the weekend that the NBA should just scrap the season, and if they do resume, the NBA winner would have an asterisk. And I just believe I don't believe that's true. I believe that's wrong, and for a couple of reasons. First one I believe is I think as left field this might sound, I think with the Last Dance documentary, all this, I believe when people get the ammo to want to discredit LeBron, I believe they take it. I believe some people are worried that he might get his fourth title. It might be left field, but I truly believe this. People don't want to.
Here you go, making it a LeBron story. I mentioned LeBron one time, but here you go, LeBron thing.
I believe people, and I believe maybe deep down in your hearts, it's something to do with that. You're not the biggest LeBron fan, but I believe that people don't, when they say, oh, they're winning right now, they got the best record in the West. They just came off, beating Milwaukee, beating Clippers. Hey, if we can throw an asterisk on this title just in case. Because I guarantee you, if Kawhi wins or Giannis wins, there ain't going to be no asterisk come whatever, if the season resumes in September, August, whatever, when that comes. Another point is, why would there be an asterisk if – I think it's going to be harder. I think the team that actually wins the title this year is going to be more difficult because, one, you're in a neutral site. You're going to be in a neutral site, all right? So there's no home court advantage. The momentum shifters in a game is real different. You don't have the crowd, because crowds are big. You don't have them swaying you. You don't have the momentum from the crowd. It makes it a lot harder. And another thing is, we're gonna really see who's been grinding or playing video games. Because you can't tell me, $1 million athlete can't work out or go to a gym. We all know that. We all know they could be working on the game. Plus, they're gonna have a month. They're gonna have 4 weeks, maybe even 5 weeks before the season starts. To get the groove back and to get back rolling.
All right. So number one, of course, you had to bring this to LeBron, like you do.
I believe it.
LeBron.
I believe it.
But look, Shaq was the one who made the quote. So you think Shaq has a personal vendetta against LeBron?
He said some. He's not the biggest LeBron fan either.
Oh, okay. I mean, look, man. It's not just LeBron or the Lakers that would have an asterisk if they won. It'd be any team because you look at it.
I don't believe that.
You could look at different circumstances. Some things will be harder, some things will be easier. But at the end of the day, the most grueling part of an NBA season is playing 82 games.
Okay. Tell me this then. Are we calling when LeBron won his first title during the lockout? And are we calling that an asterisk? And are we calling the 1998 Spurs title an asterisk? Because they played 50 games. LeBron then played 63 in 2012. So are those asterisks now? Why don't we talk about those?
Yes,
those aren't asterisks.
Okay, but it's completely different because you had a steady flow from the beginning of the season and to the playoffs, through the playoffs, until the championship. This is you put a break in the middle of the season. That's when your body is getting after it. That's when you start. And nowadays, all these players taking their games off and everything like that. That's what it is. So now you give them a break, and now you're coming right back. I don't necessarily hate that you're giving players time to recover and stuff like that, but it is different from 2016, Steph Curry's MVP season. If he had that break, throughout someone won 73 games, would he have not gotten hurt in the playoffs? We know he played that whole playoffs hurt, right?
Yeah, but
if he had a break during the season, he'd have gone into the playoffs at MVP caliber, stayed healthy the whole way, when that would have been a different NBA final series, probably with the healthy Steph Curry against LeBron in Cleveland.
He wasn't beating LeBron. LeBron. Curry's shown us, man. But everybody's got the same. It's everybody though. So it's not just one person, two people. It's every team. And the reason, I feel like we're really gonna see. It's gonna be based off really executing the game plans. It's gonna be really about executing what your coaches give you, beating that guy in front of you, making the right play. It's really more so than ever if they resume the season. Every play is going to be so much more important because of the circumstances. Obviously, we have everybody is healthier. So I think that gives everybody almost, hey, it's a free shot. it's going to be harder. It's just going to be tougher to me. And I believe when it's tougher, that shouldn't be an asterisk because we're really going to see who gets down.
I understand that it could be tougher on some levels. It's going to be tougher on some levels. It's going to be easier on other levels. But just the fact that this is a discussion means that there's got to be an asterisk. The fact that we're talking about it makes it's not conclusive. So then if it's going to be a discussion for the future, it's not lo and behold like 100% for sure that this is just as difficult or it's harder and we can evenly compare it with any other season. We know for sure we can't compare it with any other season because it's completely different. So just the matter of fact that it's a question, I think that doesn't.
But other than you saying that you're giving up players like a break, which everybody's getting the break, what other reason would there be an asterisk? If it's just because of break, I don't think that's a big enough reason to say, hey, that's an asterisk. Donovan Mitchell got a break or whatever. He got a break. Like, I don't understand what is bigger than that could give this an asterisk. Because like I said, everybody's still playing ball. Everybody's healthier.
Fans, no fans. That completely takes a huge element out of the game. Who wants to watch an NBA season with no fans?
Now that's a different discussion. It's not who wants to watch. That's a different discussion. Yeah, sure. I'd rather watch with fans. But if you give me the highest of highest athletes out there, and they're supposed to go ball, they're making millions of dollars. Those guys want to win, especially after playing 64 games. Like those teams, the Clippers, the Bucks, the Lakers, they want to win. And now I think we're really gonna see a different element. Although, yeah, I don't think it would be better than if we had fans, obviously, because you have fans, the broadcasting is better, the entertainment, the environment is better. But I don't think that it's gonna affect these players. I don't think anybody's gonna be worse or anybody's gonna be substantially better. I think it's really gonna be we're gonna see who are these guys that were playing video games this whole time. That's their fault. I don't have no sympathy for $1 million athlete if they come out lazy and fat. I'm sorry, I don't. You could have been working out. Because I guarantee LeBron ain't gonna do that, or Kawhi Leonard, or Giannis. So that's why I think it's just going to be so much more tougher in the execution-wise and the game plan. Everything is going to have to be executed perfectly. There's less room for error if they resume the season this year.
See, I understand that. I understand, and everything you're saying. Yeah, it's going to be tough for everything like that. I don't see. That's not the question with me. Like that's not what I'm questioning. That it's not going to be tough. That's necessarily going to be easier. It's just all the different factors that are going to change. That just makes it different than any other season. When we're talking about, yeah, every team is going to have to deal with the same thing, but that's this season. I love looking at the NBA at a greater standpoint as far as history and how can we compare. It's already difficult to compare eras, right? It's already difficult to compare today with 1995 or 1973. But when you're talking about a season that's you're completely going to change, and like you can't even compare this championship run of 2021 or 2020 with the championship run of 2019. You can't even compare those. Which one was better? I don't know. If you're looking at a standpoint from right now, I get it. Everybody's going through the same thing, but we can look at that, in any scenario, if this happened in any sport. But from a greater perspective and from the NBA's reputation of constantly growing a fan base and basing that off of what's happened in the past and what's been happening and what's going, how we're going forward, I just think it'd be more damaging to the NBA reputation than it'd be beneficial. Like we don't need to finish this season off. And yeah, it does suck for players right now who have a chance to win a title, but at the same time, it's not like it's definitive. Like, do you think it's definitive? Who's going to win NBA Finals this year?
No, I don't think it's definitive. I think it's between Lakers, Clippers, the only two teams for me.
If it was the past few years, then you can almost say, it's the Warriors probably got robbed of a championship because of this. This year, it's up in the air. It's the first year we really have that kind of balance with the Clippers and the Lakers and the West.
But that doesn't. That wouldn't take away the fact that a team would be robbed. Now, I wouldn't say robbed because it's not just the virus going on.
We don't know which team would be. We don't know which team that would be, though, is what I'm saying.
Yeah. But it would be some team. Like we could say, hey, LeBron could have, he's older, was in a groove, or we could have said, Kawhi, he's in the middle of his prime, might be one of the best. He's on his pace. He could win three with three different teams like LeBron. But this is why I give you a D minus out of F, because I would agree with you if they came out and did 3-game series. I would agree with that, because these are all NBA athletes, so you can get one anytime. You can get beat on any given day. So if you're a Memphis playing Lakers and you take a game 1 and then you go back to Memphis or something, however they do the scheduling, you need one more game. You know what I mean? So I would agree with that if it was a 3-game series. But if they go back to a 5 and a 7, I don't think it's damaging to the NBA, because it's the circumstances that we have to battle with and that we have to maneuver around. I don't think we should give an asterisk because something has happened and we got to be like, oh, well, it's not the norm. We don't like this. Let's toss it an asterisk. No, the NBA, these are professional sports. They're going to be clever. They're going to be crafty, as much as that it might not be what we see, seen in the past. I just believe based off the skill factor on the court, it's going to be tougher regardless of the environment they're in.
And you think it's fair to compare say the Lakers won the 2020 NBA Finals. It's fair to compare the 2020 Lakers with the 2010 Lakers.
We've seen 66 games of them. It's not like we've only seen 20 games. I mean, we've seen almost 70. I mean, there's 15 games left in the season. We've seen enough, I believe, because there was probably 5 more games left, and they're going to start doing the rest every other game thing with LeBron, with AD, with all these other teams. So I think we have seen enough to say, hey, we've seen what this is. Let's get in the playoffs. It's a neutral site. It's the best man win now.
Look, yeah, at the end of the day, basketball is basketball, so I'll give you that. So you might have a point. Now I wouldn't necessarily. I would love to see basketball. I don't know how it would be different without fans and stuff like that, but just from a mindset of it makes it even harder to comprehend within history. That's what I don't like about it. But hey, I'm not complaining if basketball comes back.
Hey, I want it back too. So let's hopefully cross our fingers that we get it back.